Hey, how's it going? This is Mr. Hernandez, and I'm going to give you the notes for Intro to Solving Equations with Variables on Both Sides. So you were solving equations before, maybe doing two steps, adding, subtracting, dividing, then multiplying. But now we're going to look at with variables on both sides, which is going to be, a lot of right answers that can be shown different ways. So as all notes go, put the date on the top right and the title. You could pause this at any time. So let's look at this first example. So let's look at 9x plus 8 equals 2x minus 9. And we're going to do this, we're going to solve it two different ways. And we're going to write this side by side so you could compare both different ways, okay? But the first thing you need to do is maybe take a highlighter or something and I underline or anything like that to show all the different terms. Okay, so we're gonna identify each term. So this is a variable term. This is a constant term. This is another variable term. And that's a constant term. And the reason why, again, variable terms have a variable or an x or a letter. These two have the x's and letters. Constant terms are just numbers. Okay. So step one is to combine like terms. And as notes go, these are going to be showing each step one at a time, and we're going to do a lot of rewriting, but it's going to be worth it. So let's rewrite this, draw a line down the middle, and we're going to underline the like terms. So here we could look at these variable terms as like terms. Now, because these are like terms, I want to combine them, but I can't combine 9 and 2 and get 11x because they're on opposite sides of the equal sign. So I need to decide which side I want the variable terms to be on and which side I want the constant terms to be on. So I'm going to just say I'm going to write variable on the left side and constant on the right. And so then I'm going to move this variable term here. And in order to do that, I'm going to have to subtract it because it's a positive. So if I subtract 2x to both sides, I'm going to be able to get rid of it on the right, and now that's going to be 9 minus 2 is 7x on the left. And then I'm going to rewrite this, equal signs in the middle. And so if I want so now the variable term is on the left. I moved it out of here, and now I rewrote these and these constant terms now I wrote over here are going to be on the right. So let me move this one over. If I move the constant terms on the right, then this is going to go over here. These are both constant, and in order to move that positive 8 over, I'm going to have to do the inverse of adding 8 and subtract 8 to both sides. Okay, so now I have 7x equals, and then negative 9 and negative 8 is a negative 17. So they're the same sign. When you're adding or subtracting, same sign, add and keep the sign. And then the last step is now we could divide by the coefficient. So this is the coefficient here, this 7 that's multiplying in front of the x. So I'm going to divide by the coefficient, divide both sides, and then I'm going to get x equals negative 17 over 7, which is a fraction, and that's okay. Now, if I do the same, so let's get the answer on the right side. But in this case, let's just say that we want let's say I want the variable terms on the right side and the constant terms on the left. Okay, so in this example, I put variable on the left and constant on the right. But what if I switch the order and I put variable on the right and constant on the left? Well, let's see. So we want to combine like terms just like we did with the first example. So these are two different options, you know, and you get the same answer, option 1, and then this is option 2 over here. Let me just put it here, option 2. Okay, so I'm going to do this in a different color. Okay, so if I want the variable term on the right side, I'm going to have to subtract the 9x from both sides. And so now it's gone here. Now I'm going to bring down the positive 9. 2 minus 9, those are different signs, so I'm going to subtract and then take the sign of the bigger number, which is the 9, and it's negative. So that's why this is negative. I'm going to bring this other negative 9 down. And so because I want the constant term on the left, I'm going to have to move this constant term over here. So let's see. I'm going to have to add 9 to both sides. And then I have negative 7x equals, what's that, 18? Oh, I think I made a mistake here. Yeah, this should be plus 8. Dang. Okay, it happens. So let me make this 8. And then this is going to be, okay, that's going to make this 17. Okay, my bad, but mistakes happen. Let's see, so that's going to be 17. Okay, so now the last step is to divide. So here I have the x almost by itself. I got to get rid of this coefficient, which is a negative 7. So I'm going to divide by the coefficient, which is negative 7. And then anything divided by itself is 1. So that's why I have 1x, or just x. And I still get 17 over 7, negative 17, right, over 7. And so you get the same two answers doing, you know, either method, whether you want the variables on the left or the variables on the right. But you have to decide which side you want the variable to be on. All right, and you'll get the right answer each time. Okay.